Let's review. Day 1, God creates the basis for time. Day 2, the basis for weather. Day 3, food. In other words, God built the ultimate ecosystem, the things you need for life. The Bible uses a Hebrew verb, asa, which means to make or to do, which doesn't necessarily mean God built it out of stuff. It could just mean God did the work of organizing it, organizing the world from chaos to cosmos, from messy room to ordered home. You see, God's genius is not just that he made things, it's that he made things to work together. Think about your eyes for just a second. Even if you understand every nerve and muscle in your eyes, the fact that you can actually see through these two squishy little orbs in your face, that's wild. Genesis is showing us that it's more concerned with function than it is with material. It's not so much what did God make it out of as it is what did God make it to do. And this wasn't a totally new idea, by the way. There are other ancient Near Eastern texts, one example being the Babylonian story Enuma Elish, which talks about the gods creating day and night, weather, food. Sound familiar? But you see, Genesis flips the script that was very common in the day, where instead of a bunch of squabbling gods running the universe like some kind of dysfunctional family reunion, Genesis 1 says that God set up an orderly system that actually runs smoothly, where God isn't fighting chaos. He's organizing creation like he's a project manager. But then, plot twist, in the flood story, God basically hits the reset button, where the waters that once represented chaos in Genesis 1-2 come flooding back, and the earth basically goes back to non-functional mode, tohu vavohu. Then after the flood, God restarts creation with the same three functions: food, weather, and time, and promises they'll never stop again. Genesis 8:22, as long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night will never cease. So if you're expecting the Bible to give you some sort of NASA-approved breakdown of things, you're going to be disappointed. It's written from an ancient perspective to these people who looked up into the sky and said, the sky is blue, the sun rises, the moon shines. And honestly, we still talk like that too, even though none of those three statements are technically scientifically accurate. So the point isn't how the universe was made, it's who made it and why it works. God used their scientific framework because that's what made sense to them. You honestly think his number one priority was teaching correct astrophysics that's up to date to the 21st century? Probably not. He was revealing his role as creator. So days 1-3 set up the functions, but then days 4-6 fill those functions with basically workers in that space. Day 4, lights in the sky, sun, moon, and stars, marking time, separating day from night. Think of them as God's cosmic clock and calendar. Day 5, fish and birds fill the waters and the skies. Day 5 throws in a cool twist, actually, where God creates these great sea creatures. In other ancient stories, these guys were considered villains. They were chaos monsters that fought the gods. But in Genesis, they're just part of the system, right? There's no cosmic WWE match to see here. Even the sea monsters clock in for work. It's like Genesis is saying, relax. God's got this. Nothing is out of his order. Then day 6, animals fill the land. Professor Burdett, let the land produce living creatures? What does that even mean? Good question, young sophomore me. Remember when you asked Mom where babies come from, and she was like, the hospital? She wasn't trying to lie to us. It's just the version your brain can handle at the time. A similar thing here. It's basically saying, you don't need the birds and the bees talk on this yet, Israel. So let's keep it simple. No awkward dinner conversations required. Why? Because God meets people where they are. Even scientifically meets people where they are, so that he can help us major more on the meaning and maybe less so on the mechanics. And finally, the grand finale, where we show up, humans, made in God's image. Which doesn't mean we look like God physically, it means we share his function in that we represent him. In the ancient world, idols represented a God's presence in a temple. But in the Bible, humanity is God's living, breathing image in his temple, which is the world itself. That's what it means for us to rule and subdue the earth, not boss everyone around, but to reflect God's order and justice and creativity and how we care for the creation. Genesis 2 zooms in on human beings being formed from dust. Ancient cultures told similar stories of humans being made from clay or blood or even divine tears. But in Genesis, it's not about what we're made of, you see, because dust symbolizes our connection to the earth and our mortality. It's not anatomical. All right, when Eve is made from Adam's side, that's not surgery, it's... Professor Burdett, are you saying that Mother lied to me all those years when she used to read to me Genesis 2 as a child and say, and this is why women have one more rib than men? Yeah, sorry, bud, don't worry. You'll get over it quick. It's an image of men and women belonging together, side by side, equal partners in God's work. So by the end of day 6, God transforms the universe from construction site to fully staffed company. The lights keep time. Sky produces weather, land grows food, fish, birds, animals, and humans all have their role. It's like God's company just had its grand opening. Everyone knows their role, systems are running, and the boss is about to move in to his office. And that's where we'll pick up next time. Thanks for watching.